With respect to the decision between a woman and her doctor, this has absolutely nothing to do with that. That conversation can take place freely. She can decide under the laws of this country and the state what she wants to do. This simply has to do with who's going to pay for it. And it is my belief that while we all should have very broad rights with respect to our medical treatment, that we don't necessarily have the right to have others pay for it. With respect to the jurisdiction of the committee, this was originally heard in the Health and Human Services Committee, and it is in this committee because it is proper, given the nature of this bill and Subdivision 3, which Senator Latz has spoken about quite a bit, that this is a proper committee to hear this. Certainly, I don't think any of us here are attempting to make a decision about the discussions between doctors and patients. It's just a matter of that this is within the jurisdiction of the committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If I could.
And Senator McGuire, I might want to add one thing. This bill has been heard and passed in the Health and Human Service Committee, so in regard to more medical issues, that I'm sure that they had the opportunity to discuss those issues. And although we are reviewing the entire bill in reference to severability, Supreme Court jurisdiction, as well as the use of funds. So,
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I understand that it's here. I'm, of course, thinking that we shouldn't be involved in these issues at all. So it shouldn't be in any of the committees, because I'm very nervous that policymakers are getting involved in medical decisions. No matter, I mean, obviously a funding issue is an issue. If you can't pay for it, you're not able to have it. So you've basically taken away people's rights to actually have these procedures. There are procedures that I'm sure many of us could question in the medical field. Perhaps there's elective surgeries that we think probably aren't covered anyway, but there's probably a number of procedures that go on in the medical profession that many of us might question. So I know someone else on the committee was saying, well, we need choices. And I would say that, yes, we can't pay for everything, but under medical plans, people make choices then about what they might want to have funded or not, but certainly not for policymakers. I'm very nervous that policymakers are getting involved in these types of decisions on what we pay for and what we don't pay for. So in effect, we are making those types of medical decisions by saying what we'll fund or not fund.
Senator Thompson.
Mr. Chair and Senator McGuire, and maybe this is where we just have a fundamental difference in philosophy. I believe these are exactly the kinds of decisions that are properly vested in the legislature, that is elected to effectuate the will of the people, rather than having a limited number of judges make the decision, as is currently the case in Minnesota.